So he goes straight to Steve. Like, I'm not kidding, straight to Steve. And I put my hand up right in front of him. I said, just go sit down and just mind your own business. We're good here. Like, and because he was so drunk and I'd seen what he just did to the last guy. He's like, so man, oh, what's your problem? Why are you being like this? I was like, I don't need any issue with you right now. And then he sits right next down to Steve because Steve wasn't impressed with the way I was behaving because he thought it was harsh. So Steve's like, oh. So now the guy sees that Steve's weak. So he sits down next to Steve and he's like, hey, what's up with your friend? Like, is he being serious right now? And then like moving in like this. So then Steve's like, yeah, no, he's being serious. Like, you better be careful, kind of a thing. And then he moves over in his seat like this. And the guy goes, oh, back closer. And then I couldn't take it anymore. I just stood up and I grabbed him by his shirt and I threw him across the bus against the window. And the bus came to a stop. And I was like, back up right now with expletives. I was swearing. And
swear, man. A story is only good if you had to swear. Not good.
Not in front of all the kids.
Okay, just keep going. Keep going.
So I threw him against the wall, and then Steven's sitting there, all straight edged. The guy starts swearing at me, oh, you little bitch and whatnot, and let's fight right now. And I said, seriously, let's go. And then the East Indian guy stands up to go at me, and I put my finger out at him, and I was just like, let's go right now. I'll whip both of you. And he stopped.
East Indian guy.
Yeah,
the one with the missing
Indian guy
tooth
that was there with the drunk guy. He was missing a tooth.
tooth.
Sorry if you guys missed that part. So then so I was really riled up at this point. Both of them are like standing right in front of me. And then there's this white girl on the bus, and she goes, she's like, Alex, or whatever, to the drunk white guy, and he looks back, he's like, oh, Bethany, or whatever her name was, and he's like, what's up? And she's like, what are you doing right now? He's like, oh, this guy wanted to fight with me, and I was like, let's go right now, and I'm right there, and he's telling the story completely different than it just happened. Like, oh, he's like such a little, I want to go with him right now, and I'm like, and the East Indian guy grabs my attention, he's like, look, I understand he's really drunk right now, but, you know, you got to be more patient with people like this. And he's like, just sit down. Let's just talk. And the East Indian guy was being half decent with me. So then the white guy comes back after talking to this girl, doing his whole, like, gangster walk thing towards me. And he sits down, and he can see that I'm getting along with the East Indian guy. So he tries talking to me. He interrupts his friend. And I say, hold on, I'll talk to you in a minute, but I'm talking to your friend right now. And he was like, because I told him to stop talking. Then he again interrupts and he tries putting out his hand. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I was like, I don't want to shake your hand. He's like, huh? I was like, you wanted to fight me 20 seconds ago. Why do you want to shake my hand now? I'm like, I'm trying to listen to your friend here. So then things got heated again. And this whole time, Steve's like, motionless in his seat. And the only reason I'm involved is because the guy was getting too close to Steve in the first place. So then we're getting near the end of our stop. And I'm about to fight this guy again. I'm like, look, my stop's the next stop. I was like, you can keep posing all you want, but if you want to be a man and you want to do this like men, we can just step off the bus to the next stop. He was like, you're the little man, I'm the big man. And he's like 5'2" and like 150 pounds, like nothing for me.
That's it?
Yeah, like really small. Like you knock him out real quick.
I can knock him out real quick.
And not to mention, I forgot this, he's missing a couple teeth, he has a bruised lip and a big black eye.
So you know he just got boned.
Has that already been?
Yeah. So what I say to him, and I said two things. I said, if you get off the bus with me right now, you're half the size of me for one, and number two, look at your eye. And that was it. He got so mad. He's like, oh, that's it. Let's get off the bus. Bus rolls to a stop. I start stepping off backwards. I'm like, okay, let's go. And his hand's shaking on the pole. He's trying to decide if he wants to get out or not. His East Indian friend's holding both his bags ready to get off to see if his friend wants to fight me or not. The bus driver's like, please get off. Please get off. But then the doors start closing, and the guy, he leeches back, and I can see him like hucking up a loogie. And I take a step back, and he spits at me just as the doors come close, and it slaps on the door. And then I hear the bus roll off, and he drops like the hardest, longest, loudest F-bomb I've ever heard in my life, and it went like for like 15 seconds down the road. And then to top it all off, we're walking back home, Steve and I, and he's dead silent. And I'm like, are you okay? And he's like, well, that could have been dealt with differently. I was like so mad. Like, are you kidding me? After I just stood up for you on the bus.
I got smacked him.